Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Do Nothing Project for Wednesday, June 10th, 12:45 edition, 12:30 edition, I mean. Just a heads up, all the power has gone out in this place where I'm doing this, and I have 35% battery. So we're going to see what happens. I'm going to probably go pretty quickly into the meditation here because I'm a little worried I might just die. If you've never been to the Do Nothing Project before, this is a place of sort of refuge and rest in the middle of your day today, wherever you are in your struggle, whether it's on the front lines of fighting COVID or on the front lines of fighting police brutality and the amazing reforms that are happening around the world, or whether you're on the front lines of homeschooling 2 kids or whatever it is, the front lines of your life. This is a place where we kind of check in with our community, and that's happening over on the side in the chat area. So you're welcome to say hi there or post a question there. I see Andrew's there. What's up, Andrew? And we kind of come together, we get quiet, we implement a fairly minimal technique. And the idea is that this is a place of sort of restoring and restoration, and then we can come back into our day with a little more energy and vitality and clarity. So I'm going to just go right into guiding a meditation. The one thing I'll say that I've been very inspired by lately, I've been kind of taking a non-dual turn in my practice and the way I'm guiding and the way I'm thinking. It's always been there. But by that, what I mean is the focus is still going to be on, I'll guide a practice that's but getting very, very simple about kind of just accepting where we are and just this option to just rest and literally do nothing. And there may be a home base you might want to work with, and I can give a prompt around that. But there's another kind of prompt around nothing can be really valuable that we explored last Sunday. And that's this this sense of tuning into where you're aware from. There's nothing happening, which is sort of a strange thing to say, but it's the awareness itself. The center where you're aware from, where you're looking out from, it's possible to tune into that as a kind of object or as a kind of something you're noticing. And what we notice is that it itself, there's nothing happening there. And it can't be scratched or changed or hurt in any way. And there's a kind of stability and rest that we can find by tuning into that quality, that all the struggle for change, which is so worthwhile, that all happens out here. It happens in the content of world, of body, of mind, and that it's possible to tune into this place where there is, in fact, no struggle. And that in the short time we take to do that, in the case of today, 25 minutes, it can be really restorative to take that time to tune into that and then to go back into whatever our day, whatever our mind, body, world brings to us. So I'll lead the same practice I often guide, but I'll just have a couple prompts around that. And we're just going to see how that lands with folks. I think I may start to make it an ongoing thing because it is really the stream of my own practice has taken me. Very happy to be here with you guys. I love this community. So let's do it. I don't have a bell today. I have this, and this is the last time you'll see me in this empty space. My friend is now going to turn it back into an apartment. So in honor of this empty space, it's time to explore some empty nothingness. Okay, so as always with the Do Nothing Project, if you have your own practice you like to do, and you are your own teacher, that's the core belief here, is that sometimes just sitting, trusting your own intuitions, kind of open ourselves up to stillness, to mystery, it takes us where we need to go. And you may have your own way of doing that. But if you want to follow along with my prompts, of course, you're welcome to do that. So I'd like to start with a few deep breaths. The in-breath is sort of the bringing in the energy You lift up the spine. Maybe you feel your feet on the ground or your seat on the cushion, and you draw up from there, just connecting to this alertness, also to the dignity of the posture, the self-respect in the way you're sitting. And then the exhale is, I won't say it's the collapse of self-respect, but you could say it's the collapse of tension. So just softening on the exhale, soften the forehead, the worry lines of the forehead, and soften the jaw, soften the throat and the shoulders. Again, as you breathing in some oxygen, finding that alertness, that awakeness. And as you breathe out, it's kind of landing and arriving in your body. So feeling your seat on the ground, and really landing in it. And also really landing in this moment. So suddenly we kind of notice, oh yeah, here I am. I'm aware in this sort of eternal now. And we set our commitment up the top, just around this idea of equanimity, this commitment around we're not going to struggle during this 25 minutes with the conditions of the world as we find them. Meaning the sounds around us that may not be ideal. There might be distractions in the space. There might be a lot of stuff in our bodies, a lot of intensity going on these past few weeks. We're not going to try to get rid of that. We're going to honor that that's there. We're going to let it be there. We're going to let the thoughts be there. This is the equanimity principle, is this kind of mature act of allowing and accepting all things in this moment to be there, having their impacts. And then from here, some people like to just sit in this sense, a sense of just nothing to do in this moment, nowhere to go. And also, I might suggest no one to be. That there is a quality here that's always with us of unchangingness, and at the center of where you're looking from, awareness itself, that there's something it's almost like a windshield effect. It's smooth and slippery and empty. And we can kind of rest back instead of going forward to try to find something to pay attention to. We kind of rest back in our awareness and we choose to find that action kind of simplifying, enjoyable. We just enjoy our own company there. And we can also do this while being lightly aware of a home base that can give us a nice bit of structure if that appeals, meaning just following lightly the sensation of the breath, say, or the feeling of the body, or maybe the sound in the room, like the sound of a air conditioner or a vent or anything really. But whatever you choose, see if the attention can be sort of delicate. And I'll let you get settled, and I'll come back in a little bit. Good. So there's this period of settling. It really helps here to have a kind of patience. Like, yeah, these are just slowly settling in their own time. There's lots of thoughts, lots of feelings. It's okay. The classic metaphor is we kind of just see if we can experience those as kind of clouds moving across this open sky, storm systems of emotion and feeling, clouds of thoughts. None of those things scratches the sky as they go through. Nothing touches the sky itself. And that's like the awareness. That's you, the center of you. And sometimes we can kind of tune into that open sky quality. And it's just an option. And sometimes it comes from that sense of spaciousness, or sometimes it's more like we're just delicately paying attention to the breath or some sensation, and we notice that things start to get quiet or still. And that quiet and that stillness is sort of a relative of that spaciousness. It's sort of another dimension of it. Well, however it emerges for you, just all of it is help with this attitude of no big deal, just sitting here enjoying your own company, allowing all clouds to be there. Good. And as we get more settled, the attention itself can get more subtle, more delicate. Kind of start to notice what's quiet, and you start to get a little more still. And sometimes we can find that stillness, that quiet, even around the movement, and the movement of thought, of the body, the movement of the world. That's sort of like the dance. There's this dance of sensations and sounds and thoughts and feelings. And we're both the dancer, but in this practice, we also get to be the appreciative audience, the backed up into our own awareness, resting back in our awareness, and kind of allow the dance to unfold. And there's this sort of good-natured, appreciative stance back here in the audience, the witness. And it's all quiet in the audience, the witness, the awareness. It's very quiet. There's nothing happening there on this side of things. And so we kind of delicately see if we can tune into that too. Really taking our rest here. And what's amazing is the most intimate part of you is that awareness. It's on the audience side. That's what animates the thoughts, the feelings of the world. It has these two sides, this expressive inside the dance side, and then there's this other side that just watches. And there's just so much peace there, starting there and flooding out behind you. So seeing for the last little bit here, if you can really relax back into that awareness. It's like you're leaning back into a huge beanbag of empty space. Okay, good. So for the last few minutes, we're going to just see what happens. These are like experiments, these meditation. We're going to see what happens when we just introduce more deliberately this care principle. And whether your meditation is busy right now with lots of thoughts, or whether it's very quiet, very still, whether you're delicately following along with a sensation, or whether you're more set back in this awareness, doesn't matter. All those are fine. And this care principle, we just begin to introduce it. And lately I've been interested in this idea of introducing it through touch. So I like to kind of hold my hand. I have my hand, one hand kind of cradling the other in my lap. Or maybe my hands are on my knees, or even putting a hand on the heart. But whatever it is, see if you can suddenly fill one or both of your hands with a sense of caring. The way you would if you were holding a little baby, or holding an old beloved grandparent, or a little puppy, whatever works for you. But just let the hands be filled suddenly with this sort of delicacy, like the hand is a caring hand. And we're actually extending that caring to our own body in the way we hold the other hand, or we touch our heart, or we touch our leg. And it's not a sentimental thing. It's just there's a kind of aliveness that enters the hand, or intelligence, or sensitivity. And now with that care that's sort of activated or stoked, we can imagine sending it out to whoever we feel like needs it in our life. So we could send it to ourselves. The little phrase, "May I be well." We could send it to a friend. Send it to someone that out in the news. Send it to an entire community. But you're letting the engine come from that sense of caring touch. And then you repeat your phrase, may you be well, may you know peace, may you get justice, may you know justice. May you recognize your own dignity. May you be healthy. Whatever your blessing, whatever you want to send out. And then the concentration comes from just remembering, oh yeah, kind of forget about the hand part, and then you reactivate the intelligence in the hand or in the body. Suddenly your hand's just a little more intelligent in your lap, or on your hand, or touching your heart. So much care emerges from touch, from the body. That's where we're drawing our energy for this last minute here. Just one more minute. And then maybe just finishing with the thanks. Thanks to this community. Thanks to yourself. Thanks to your body. Thanks to your awareness. Thanks to the teachings. Thanks to whatever you want to be thankful for. The breath, the sounds, the dance, the struggle, the life. It's a privilege to be part of it. A privilege to be here with you guys. I don't have a bell, so that's it for the meditation. 9% left. Good to hang out with you guys. Yeah, so let me know, do you like that little non-dual twist? And by that, I mean that kind of little orienting to this idea that there's sort of back here, there's a lot of quiet and there's nothing really happening. There'd be a lot happening out here in our thoughts, our feelings, but that there's this kind of empty awareness part over here. And I mean, those kinds of pointer outers are, they're kind of a boutique thing. Some people really like them and some people don't so much. So I can keep playing with it. I probably will keep playing with it. But also know that if it doesn't land, it's not a big deal, because I'm trying to weave in also just the simple naturalness of the do nothing and the basic home base. So you kind of, the idea is to kind of let your natural teacher take hold, what is naturally, what kind of works for you? Where is there interest or a quickening for you? These kind of, so there's a sort of a little bit of a, this offering at the beginning, and you can kind of choose what works. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like people are into it. I mean, you can always, the good thing is you don't have to run with that. You can go with the other lines, but that's going to be what I'm going to be playing with the next little while, is like how to refine. Typically those more non-dual pointers, it's sort of like either you're into it or you're not. And if you're not, you're totally left out of it. So I'm interested in this middle ground of beginning to tease in those prompts, but in a way that doesn't alienate the normal meditator. But they can begin to get a taste for the power of those prompts. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I hope people like the hand thing too. I've been working with that as well with the self. I just got this thing called the Self-Compassion Workbook by this woman, her name, Kristen Neff. So I'm reading that. I'm going to try to really build some meditations around that theme, because I think it's so important for our time. Yeah. Good. So Brooke's saying she used the empty screen of her eyes, behind her eyes, as a home base, which is a great one to do they call it the Ganzfeld in psychology. It's just the swirly thing. Swirly, Eigenlich, they call it in German. Ganzfeld, all these words. All right, I'm 5%. I'm good. Thanks for asking, John. I'm in this interesting mental health period, but so it goes. Thank God for this practice and this community. Adios, amigos. I'll see you on Sunday. Sunday, I'm going to be trying to broadcast from up north, so fingers crossed that works. Yeah. Yeah, so Sean says using touch helps him get out of his head. I'm glad. Take care, everybody. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate all your help. Good to see all the familiar names: Brooke, Tina, Holly, Sean, John, Jeff McPhee, Christina. Much love to you guys. Thanks to Lily and Milan as well. Bye. Bye, Selvin.